So we're traveling on the Parkway, and I'm doing this so I can see the condition of the Parkway after the storm. Now it's a month later, but I wanted to see, you know, how many trees are down and if they've repaired the road where there's a landslide or something, a mudslide. And so far I don't see any mudslides, but I have seen quite a few trees down. But it's fall, and it doesn't get prettier up here in the mountains. And I hope you can see some of the beauty of these leaves as we drive down the Parkway. This was closed about a week ago. It's now open from here down south. We're heading south from the Blowing Rock exit. There's a lot of trees up here. Some are down up there. Some may have been down before, but I think, yeah, that was a new one. You see the whole root ripped up. It's typically from the storm. Going over Sims Creek. Can't really see down in the gorge because we're up too high. So I can't tell if that suffered any damage. A lot of the leaves were blown off, so the fall is definitely not what we normally see here. Although, despite that, the colors are still quite saturated and very beautiful. And there's a lot of cars on the Parkway, surprisingly. But, you know, there's people who come up here just to look at the leaves, and that may be a lot of tourists, which I'm glad they haven't forfeited their time up here, because there's a huge tourist industry here, and people are employed by the tourist industry, and you know, those people need their jobs, so it's important. This foot-rail fence is intact. So right here on the Blue Ridge, it's relatively flat. We're on the top of the ridge, and off here is Price Lake. It looks like it didn't get hurt at all. Even on the other side looks pretty good. Down south, about by Mount Mitchell, they got hammered. They really got hammered. Mount Mitchell's about 6,000 feet altitude, so that's pretty good. There's some damage right there. Okay. There's some more damage back in there. Basically, it's trees down, which is what I thought we would see at this point. Trees down. Leaves are so beautiful. You know, you can really tell the difference between the way, once you've seen it a few times, the way a hurricane destroys things versus the way a tornado hits, and you just see like a swath of trees knocked down. But hurricanes are different. They kind of knock down like all a bunch of trees, you know, like, or all the leaves are off, or it's a different way. The remnant of what a hurricane does is different from the remnant of what a tornado does. I don't know what that hill is up there in the distance. It might be Mitchell, but I think Mitchell's further south. I'm not sure. Mount Mitchell is the highest point on the Blue Ridge. It is in North Carolina anyway. My sister thinks that it might be the highest point east of the Mississippi. And, you know, she may be right. We'd have to fact check that, and we'll be honest. Well, it looks like some of the trails are still being used. People pulling over, using the trails. This is Cold Prong Overlook. I've never been on that one, but all the trails around here, they're gorgeous. I'm sorry for the glare I'm getting on my windshield, but for those of you who live in flat areas and don't have deciduous trees, I hope this makes up for it. Nothing like the western North Carolina fall season. It's just a blast of color. Even after what the hurricane did, it's still quite beautiful. Down, big ones. A couple more. And some of these trees, yeah, those are root balls that are pulled up. Some of these trees are probably kind of sickly anyway. The nice thing about the Blue Ridge Parkway, there's no telephone poles and other utilities that when you're photographing are in the way. And there's a lot of stone bridges, like this one right here. And it's really just quite a throwback to a more natural time. In fact, this was built in the 20s, I think the late 20s. Above us, that granite in the center of the screen is the back side of Grandfather Mountain. This is why people come to the Blue Ridge Parkway. And imagine that all through the distance. A little hazy today, but you get the idea. This is a cinematic setting in my phone, and it's picking up the shadowed areas. I'm going to move it up to the sky and see what happens. Okay. It's adjusting for the sky. Not sure what area it picks from, probably the center. Pretty cool. Took a right here, you'd end up in going to Grandfather Mountain, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go straight. We're going to get down off closer to Crossnor. Looks like there's a lot of people up here looking at the leaves. I'm glad to see that. Oop, okay, so this is closed. And that's definitely hurricane problems closed.